assembly variants. How do you handle variants? Variant builds of the board, and identifying what components are fitted and what are not fitted for a particular build. So as we already realised here, we can put as many of these views of the PCB on the same sheet as we see fit. So I'm going to create a top-side variant assembly view for this PCB, and I'll just set these up. Obviously these can be set up as default preferences, but let's just do this quickly. Okay, so I've got another view of the PCB there, and I want that to be based upon a particular assembly. So we have a built-in variant manager which can be driven externally from a number of variant bills of materials. We can import parts lists, and then those parts lists can be imported as a variant. So it can build up the variants from a set of variant parts lists, which is pretty good. So for this particular assembly, I'm going to uninstall D1 and R7. So it just has the one resistor and an LED hanging off the board. So D1 and R7, I'm just choosing that because it makes it more obvious. So I'm just going to make build 1, basically everything installed. Okay, and then I'm going to choose D1 and make that uninstalled, and also R7, make that uninstalled. And of course there's no limit to the number of additional variants or builds that you can create in here, and you can do this manually, obviously, as I've done it here. There's also preferences on colours that you choose to identify an uninstalled component, or a no-fit, and an installed component. So at the moment we've got green for the installed and red for uninstalled as default, but you can change that. Okay, so this particular view of the PCB I want to make based upon an assembly, i.e. build 01, and show everything. So what it will start doing is it will colorize the components based upon whether they're fitted or not. But I could also choose not to show the uninstalled components. So I can switch those off. So I can switch those off or switch them on, and obviously it will get colored differently. You can also then pull in a variant legend as a key to identify what's installed, what's uninstalled, so on and so forth. So creating a variant assembly drawing, with all the different builds of this assembly, you can obviously do on one sheet, and then from that, visually you can see what the differences are between the different builds. So you can literally just look at a board and look at one sheet of the documentation and identify from that document what board you're looking at, what assembly am I looking at. So as a visual inspection, it's superb.